What's up, Pride? Welcome back to another video. If you're new to Pride, hello to this channel. Welcome. We welcome everyone. If you're old, how we doing? I'm back. I'm gonna keep on saying that. Yes, we know I'm back. Yes, but today's video is another reaction video. And we're gonna get to this because I'm not gonna hold you. If you like this video, you already know what to do. Like and subscribe to be part of Pride, our Pride. This is our. Even though I'm the leader, it's our Pride. And we'll get right to this. Today's reaction video, since we're part of the spooky season, getting to the spooky shit, we have true crime. Well, that's not the type. It's called True Scary Crime TikTok compilation. And if you want to go see the whole video without me in it, it's in the link description. It's for all these videos. And we'll get right to this. Because, like, let's see. Unsolved, solved, let's see.
True crime fans, stop for a second. Have you heard of the Bianca Devins story? Y'all, this one is crazy. If the circle is flashing right here, we are live talking about this case and a few others tonight. But this case, oh my God. Bianca Devins, she was very active on social media. And then it looks like one of her followers slash friends named Brandon Andrew Clark just becomes like over the top obsessed with her. And then he goes so far as to post pictures and videos of him taking her life. Yup. Y'all take a second, hit that follow button if you're new here, hit the like button over here, and if the circle is flashing, come on in, join the live stream, find out what happened in this case, because it sounds like it is going to be a crazy one. Can't wait to see you guys in there, and make sure to hit that follow button, y'all. My name's Patrick, and I would love to have you part of the family.
This is why you should be careful with who comes into contact with your children. Grotto Family Daycare is located in Ontario, California, and it is ran out of a residential home. It was ran by 52-year-old Virgil Dorado, and he had been running this business for about 19 years. Virgil was previously a foster parent as well. On March 6th of this year, police received a report of a possible sexual abuse that involved a victim who was being cared for by Virgil. Investigators were able to track down other victims who were allegedly victimized by Virgil. Victims' ages range from 5 to 15 years old. August 4th, Virgil was arrested and booked at West Valley Detention Center. He is facing numerous related felony charges.
Breaking news, a 14-year-old girl missing since 2019 has been found alive. Authorities say that the missing girl, who is now 18 years old, turned up at a police station and identified herself as Alicia Navarro. It was at that time she asked for help getting herself off a missing persons list. She was reported missing by her family in 2019, and her mother said that her daughter left behind a note saying that she would be back. At the time, she believed she was lured by an online predator. She is currently not in custody, and authorities are not disclosing her location at this time. Authorities also say that they believe she left her home on her own free will. However, details onto how she left her home are still under investigation. They have also not provided any details on where or who she has been staying with. Additionally, authorities released a photo today showing her at 14 years old and her currently at 18. Her mother also released a video confirming she was found. Take a look.
For everyone who has missing loved ones, I want you to use this case as an example that miracles do exist and never lose hope and always fight. My daughter, Alicia Navarro, was missing since September 15, 2019. She has been found safe. I do not know the details. I do confirm that she is my daughter, she is alive, and she is safe. This is recent news for me. It was an hour before it was posted in social media and the news. I don't have details, but the important thing is that she is alive. And I want to thank the community and God for all that you have done.
I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
Just one thing that we have in common, neither of us will be missed. St. Bernard sits at the top of the driveway. You all...
Wait, what?
February 24th, just 3 days after Abby goes missing, Abby was found murdered in the Kwong family's rented house. When the police first walked into the home that was rented in the suburbs, I think that they knew if they were going to find Abby, she most likely wouldn't have been alive. It felt like the house was rented for the sole purpose of killing someone. Inside, the police found 2 different types of meat grinders, an electric saw, a hammer, face shields, black raincoats, a purple Hermes handbag that belonged to Abby. So in the kitchen, the police find 2 stainless steel pots. It said that they could see human tissue. The human tissue and flesh was mixed with carrots and radishes. So these 2 stainless steel pots, they're sent to the medical examiner's office, and they found Abby's head inside one of the soups. The soup had been cooked, so she had been badly decomposed. The only way to confirm that it was Abby Choi was through dental records. They did find evidence of a massive blow to her skull. It was presumed to have been fatal. The other pot contained pieces of her ribs, collarbones, pieces of flesh, and other ingredients. When the police searched the freezer and the fridge, they found Abby's feet in the freezer. And also in the house, they found her lower torso and her legs. The Kwong family had planned the murder and dismemberment of Abby Choi for at least 2 weeks. The police believe that the murder plot was in the works for at least a month. There is a video of the police pushing the refrigerator out of the house to bring it in as evidence.
That's disgusting.
The man smiling in this photo was arrested after hunting down and brutalizing pedophiles, earning him the nickname, the Alaskan Avenger. As a kid, Jason Vukovic was sexually and physically abused by his stepfather Larry until he ran away from home at the age of 16. Larry was charged with the abuse of a minor but never served any jail time, and as the years passed, Jason grew haunted by his stepfather. He reached a breaking point in 2016 when he decided to use his state sex offender registry to track down criminals, break into their homes, and beat them with a hammer. In 2018, Jason was sentenced to 28 years in prison and has since come out apologizing for his actions. He says that vigilantes have no place in society and warns that just because your past was taken from you, you shouldn't ruin the future that you have ahead.
Amen. How does it look?
This is probably every parent's worst nightmare. It all started on June 2013 when 8-year-old Cherish and her mother Rain and 2 younger sisters went to Dollar General in Jacksonville and met a man named Donald Smith. You see, Rain struggled financially, and when she couldn't afford to buy Cherish a dress that she really wanted, Donald overheard this and then offered to take her and her daughters to Walmart on a shopping spree. Donald then offered to give Rain and her daughters a ride to Walmart, and she accepted. But when they arrived to Walmart, Donald was making very inappropriate comments to Cherish. And as the store was closing, he offered to go to the McDonald's in the Walmart and buy everyone some food, and he asked that Cherish come with him. Surveillance footage shows them leaving Walmart, and clearly Cherish looks comfortable around this person and she doesn't think he's a threat. Rain said that the store started to close and there was still no sign of Cherish and Donald, so she spent about 20 minutes looking for them until she called the police. They issued an Amber Alert, and finally at 9:05 a.m. they spotted Donald driving his white van and they stopped him, but Cherish was not in the car. When Donald was brought into custody, he was wearing the same clothes and he was all wet, but he told police that he was doing drugs all night and that causes him to sweat. But sadly, that same morning, Cherish's body was found at the bottom of a creek behind the church. She suffered very horrific injuries, and this is a trigger warning. Cherish suffered blunt force trauma to the head, she was strangled hard, and she suffered a lot of injuries in her genital area. It turns out that Donald was a registered sex offender and he was released from prison only 3 weeks prior, and he was charged and sentenced to death. Now, what's disturbing is a conversation he had with his mother in prison that was recorded, and he basically told her that Cherish followed him outside of the Walmart, so he had no option but to get rid of her.
People before and after going missing. Part 1. This is Riker West, and in June 2020 he disappeared from outside of his home in Montana. Riker was first reported missing on Friday when he was playing outside of his home and wandered off into the woods. Riker wandered 2.5 miles through the woods during major thunderstorms and freezing conditions. As well as the harsh conditions, the woods were also inhabited by hundreds of grizzly bears and mountain lions. The search party and police assumed they were looking for a dead body, but miraculously Riker Webb survived. They found him more than 2 days later hiding in a cabin 2.5 miles from where he went missing using a lawnmower bag to keep warm.
People who went missing but were found later alive. Lula Cora Hood went missing in 1970. Relatives say she left home one day and never returned. She suffered from mental illness. Callisto, who was 15 at the time of her mother's disappearance, was later adopted by relatives who had no word about Hood until 1996. Police called that year to tell the family that human remains had been found in Galesburg, Flo. Without any definitive evidence, the family buried the recovered remains and held a memorial service. In late June, they learned the remains were not Hood's, but of another female. Investigators eventually tracked Hood to another place where she'd been living the life.
This influencer's body parts were found in pots of human soup just last month. On the 15th of February, 28-year-old model Abby Choi posted a beautiful photo on her Instagram. She had no idea of her horrific fate less than 2 weeks later. On February the 25th, 2023, police made a horrifying discovery. A splatter-proof makeshift butcher's workshop was found in a rented 3-story home. Inside of the home, they found 2 human legs in a fridge and Abby's decapitated head in a soup pot. Alongside the head, carrots and radishes were also in the process of being cooked. Minced human meat was also found at the scene. In the rented flat, police found a homemade butcher's shop equipped with meat grinders, chainsaws and meat cleavers. Abby's handbag was also found at the scene, including her ID, which helped to identify her. Heartbreakingly, Abby was a mother of 4 young children. Police in Hong Kong have charged Abby's ex-husband, Alex Kwong, his father and brother with the murder. It's alleged that the 3 men rented an apartment where they'd meticulously planned the murder. It's also alleged that the motive for the killing was a family dispute over money. Abby's children are now being looked after by her mother.
Most disturbing videos in the world, part 1. Okay, so this video is titled Funky Town, and it might single-handedly be the most disturbing video and thing to ever come on the internet. I can't show you the video on TikTok, but I can tell you everything about it. And word of advice, never ever look this up. So the video shows a Mexican drug cartel executing a man, in which they remove the man's face while he's still alive. And a lot of other weird and disturbing things start happening. And all while this man is getting his face ripped off his body, the song Funky Town is playing in the background, hence the video being called Funky Town.
That's creepy.
5 days ago, these 2 girls made a TikTok saying they found a dead body in the morning, but the thing is, they weren't lying. 2 girls from Texas, aged 17 and 16, made a Snapchat of them stealing jewelry off of the dead body of a man they found in a drainage ditch. In the video, Bethany Martin, the 17-year-old, took the necklace off of the man's corpse and gave it to her friend who was recording. The younger teen told police that she put the medallion on her own gold necklace because it matched her fashion style. Both girls have been charged with theft to a human corpse, and police believe the man's death was a suicide.
Oh, I didn't know that was illegal.
What this girl did to herself will make you feel physically sick. This is one of the most shocking cases of psychosis I've ever heard. On February the 6th, 2018, Kaylee Muffart was using substances. She was high on M after a 48-hour binge. She ended up stumbling down the road next to a railway track. In her substance-induced state, she believed that she needed to save the world, and in order to do so, she needed to make a sacrifice. Horrifically, she believed that she needed to scrape her eyeballs out of her head or everybody would die. So that's exactly what she did. With her bare hands, she removed her own eyeballs. She then squashed them into her hands while a passerby struggled to restrain her. She was airlifted to hospital in South Carolina. She is now obviously completely blind, but thankfully is sober. She's a mother to a toddler and she wants to help people pull through than hearing her story.
On the morning of October 13, 2021, the body of 41-year-old mother and vet technician Christina Parcell was discovered in her sister's living room. She had been stabbed 31 times in the face and neck. And the person who discovered her? Her fiance, Bradley Post. Post had reportedly placed multiple calls to Parcell the morning of her murder before deciding to check on her in person. The details of this murder were not only brutal, but disturbingly ritualistic. The killer allegedly sprinkled rose petals around Parcell's body before dragging and posing her in the living room. Parcell was beloved by her co-workers at the animal hospital. The owner of the vet facility described Parcell as a loving sister and mother to her daughter, who was 10 years old at the time of her mother's murder. According to investigators, however, there was a darker side to Parcell. Deputies at the crime scene found memory cards and a laptop near Parcell's body. They also recovered a clear Ziploc bag with a white powdered substance inside, and 2 envelopes each containing $500 in cash. A small single-shot firearm was found within a suitcase, and numerous USB drives were retrieved from a bedroom. Multiple arrests have been made in the aftermath of Parcell's murder, exposing shocking layers to this homicide. For starters, 6 days after the murder, Bradley Post, Parcell's fiancé, was arrested, but not for the murder of Parcell. Instead, he was apprehended for evidence found at the murder scene. Post has since been charged with numerous accounts of sexual exploitation of a minor in the first degree, and 1 count in the third degree. On top of that, Post and Parcell are listed as defendants in 2 civil lawsuits. One brought on the behalf of Parcell's own daughter, and one brought on behalf of another minor female allegedly victimized by the couple. According to the first lawsuit, Parcell and Post took pictures and videos of and with the minor female in various states of undress and in provocative positions. According to the second lawsuit, Parcell's own daughter, who was under the age of 10 at the time, was allegedly photographed and videoed in various states of undress and in explicit and provocative positions. These videos and images of both minors were uncovered during Parcell's murder investigation. And if that isn't disturbing enough, Post was also charged with 1 count of buggery. When I first heard this charge, I was confused. Buggery? Weren't sodomy laws completely decriminalized in this country in 2003? So I decided to delve more deeply into the nature of this charge against Post. And when I did, a new category of victims emerged: animals. According to investigators, the buggery charge against Post stems from a trove of materials, mainly video recordings depicting the couple, both individually and together, engaging in intercourse with animals. Multiple dogs in particular were allegedly victimized by the couple. In addition to her work at the vet hospital, Parcell routinely brought dogs home to be fostered. None of them stayed that long, though, one neighbor said. It's some of the vilest material I've ever seen, one prosecutor said. But back to the murder. If not her fiancé, who killed Parcell? This may be one of the strangest parts of the case. Check out part 2.
Who killed him? Who killed her? Did we ever find out?
That girl gnawed through duct tape to save her life. 7-year-old Erica Pratt was playing outside of her house with her sister and a neighbor when all of a sudden a white car parked in front of their house. There were 2 men in the car. Then both men starts calling her name, Erica, and they kept telling her to go to them. However, Erica was like, nope, and within seconds, the guy from the passenger side got out and grabbed her. The other kids tried to run up to him and pull her back. However, the guys just pushed them back and ran to the car, then popped open the trunk and put Erica inside. Then they took off with the quickness. The kids then went to tell Erica's grandparents, who were at a block party at the end of the street, and the grandparents called authorities right away. So Erica's guardians were actually her grandparents. However, she saw her grandparents as her real parents. So back to Erica's situation. Erica was in this stuffy trunk with these strangers driving her to God knows where. However, she kind of timed how long the drive was. When the car had parked and the car had stopped, she estimated the drive to be about 25 minutes. So the two men carried Erica into the house while covering her eyes so that she doesn't see any of her surroundings. Then the two men bound her hands and feet with duct tape. They then blindfolded her. The two men made their way over to the telephone where they dialed Erica's house number. They already knew the number. When Erica's grandmother answered, they demanded $100,000 in cash in exchange for Erica's safe return. Obviously, these perps knew who Erica and her family were. They let Erica speak to her grandmother as proof that she was alright. They then hung up the phone after they spoke, picked Erica up, opened the door, went down some steps, and placed her on the floor. Mind you, this whole time, Erica was blindfolded. So wherever Erica was, she felt like it was a cold, damp place. Then she heard the two men walk back up the stairs and shut the door. While Erica was placed in this very dark and cold room, she listened to her surroundings. She heard the men murmuring something outside the door, but she couldn't make out what it was they were saying. However, she was still able to hear that they were close. Erica then realized that she was not too far from home. Remember, I said that she estimated the drive to be about 20 minutes. Erica kept listening to see if the men would eventually leave. Then a few moments later, she didn't hear them anymore, so she took off her blindfold. Mind you, she was still duct taped, so it was not an easy task for her. She looked around and realized she was in the basement. She noticed as she looked around that there were a couple of window panels. Although not very big, she figured that she'd be able to fit through them. Now, Erica was determined to leave. She refused to be a victim of whatever that situation was. So she began to gnaw through the duct tape. She then freed her hands. Then with her hands, she ripped off the duct tape that bounded her feet together. And to be extra sure, Erica very quickly but silently tiptoed up the steps to the door. She put her ear right next to it, and she did not hear a single sound. She assumed that they either left or they were asleep. Erica then tiptoed back down, grabbed one of the tools from the basement, climbed on top of a few boxes, and with all of her might, she smashed out a basement window and screamed for help. Luckily for her, even close to midnight, there were a group of children playing across the street. They then quickly ran to where they heard the screams. They saw little Erica's head screaming for help. One of the kids, a young boy, smashed another part of the window panel so that he can easily pull Erica out. The kid reached into the window. Erica grabs his hand and the boy pulls her out with all the strength. The boy was only a few years older than Erica, not even a teen yet, and the basement was not an easy reach. He pulled her out in a matter of seconds. Erica was free. Then a little girl from the group, who was on her bike at the time, rode her bike to a couple of cops that she knew were around the corner. Then she said, "We just saved a kidnapped girl. You guys gotta come with me. I'll show you to her." The cops then made their way over there stat. And within the hour, the police then took Erica to the hospital and evaluated her and brought her back to her grandma's house within the hour. Hours later, before dawn, the cops apprehended the two men that kidnapped Erica. James Burns, 29, and Edward Johnson, 23, were captured. The kidnappers apparently knew the Pratt family. It just so happened that earlier that year, Erica's uncle, Erica's grandma's son, had passed away. And there was this rumor that there was an insurance claim that they cashed in on. However, the grandmother claims that it was all just a rumor. But those men took that risk, and they were determined to get what they can. They seemed real desperate, obviously. And so they kidnapped Erica and asked for that exact amount from the supposed insurance claim, which was $100,000. Edward pleaded guilty in May 2003, while James was convicted a month later. Erica was named Times Person of the Week as a reminder that not all abductions end in tears. In May 2003, United States Attorney General John Ashcroft presented her with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's National Courage Award for her unyielding persistence and boldness.
That's a reward. Wow. Who knew that was a reward? I didn't. But we're gonna talk about this. But yeah, that's all for this video, and you should go check that video out. Also, you should also go check out Stephanie Sue. That's Stephanie Sue's videos. She also does true crime, and it's great. I love her. You know when I say, "Oh, that's my girl," that's my girl. And I'm gonna put her in the description below. That's all for this video. If you like, comment, subscribe, you already know. And I'm gonna catch you in the next video. Ignore my hair. It's been like this for a couple days. But like, I don't know what I want to do with it. I might just tell somebody to rebraid it. I don't know. But like, yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Or next video. I'm out.